Hello everybody, hello, and welcome to my channel. This is Sia. This is my second video for today. So I wanted to talk about manifestation and everything I've learned about manifestation in the last year. Well, more precisely, more so for the last 10 months that I actually got into it, but for the sake of the title, I'm just gonna say 1 year, So I was talking to a friend recently and I told them that I finally understand manifestation. I understand the most important parts of it and how to actually use all the techniques and the things I've learned to my advantage to get more of what I want and less of what I don't. So my friend asked me to actually explain what it is, what it's all about. And so I sent him a ton of voice notes and I thought to myself that of course, I need to talk about this. I need to make a summary video, and I'm mainly making this video because a lot of people believe in the wrong things, okay? There are a lot of ideas that are going around, so if you're new to manifestation, if you just started watching videos about it and things like that, there are a lot of things that are very confusing. So I wanted to create a video that only talks about the most important parts and the only things you really need to manifest, what they mean, plus what they don't mean, okay? So first, let me give a very general definition of manifestation. And I'm going to say that it's basically you making anything happen in your reality, okay? And I want you to distinguish between conscious and unconscious manifestation because we're always manifesting things. If we always think specific thoughts, then our reality is always going to be confirming that, right? We're only going to be seeing the things that we believe and we think about ourselves and about the world. So that's going to be our external experience, and that's what we're going to be getting from the world. So, for example, if you always think to yourself that you're not going to have a good relationship in your life, okay, then what happens is every single time you will see couples or something, you will be reminded of the fact that you are not going to get a relationship. And if that happens, you might start not actually going on dates with people, or maybe if you meet someone nice, you're going to say, nah, they're probably like that other person that I dated before, okay? And so these are going to be the kind of experiences you will be attracting and what you will be seeing in your experience. So we're always manifesting things, and that way you're manifesting people and situations that that actually match you at a point in time, that match your thoughts, that match your feelings and everything going on inside, okay? But there's also conscious manifestation, which is recognizing that, oh, I actually have power here. I know what my current beliefs are, and I know that those beliefs are not going to get me what I want. And so I'm going to consciously get myself out of that and get what I desire, okay? So it's actually using what you've been doing wrong your whole life to your advantage to recognize, oh, I want it to be the opposite. And so you replace the old thoughts, you do all the work you need to do to get the things that you want in your external reality, because first is whatever you do in your internal world, and then you actually experience things differently, and things actually start to shift and move, and you attract new people, new circumstances, and all that stuff. So that's the difference, okay? So if you're getting into manifestation, that means you have been doing it already, but you're just doing it from a conscious place right now, which is awesome, okay? Because we all have a lot more power in our lives than we think we do. Okay, so that's the distinction there. So next, I wanted to talk about the other thing that manifestation isn't, more so what manifestation isn't about, okay? So manifestation isn't about using affirmations, okay? It's not about having the perfect routine. That is not what's going to give you the results that you want. So don't go around the internet looking for the perfect technique, okay? Don't go around thinking, oh my gosh, should I do SATs? Is that a superior technique to, I don't know, visualizing things in the morning? Or is it better for me to write down my thoughts? There's no superior technique. And the only thing that matters is whether that technique or whatever it is you're doing, you might not even need that many techniques, right? That's what I'm saying, it's not that important, because you might not need those techniques at all to get to where you want to be in your mind mentally. You might just want to do this completely logically without really involving any of the visualizations and all that kind of stuff. They're all very helpful, but it's not about having the perfect routine or the perfect technique. It's about using something that works for you, which means using something that helps you feel like you already have what it is that you desire. But if you watch enough manifestation videos, then you already know that that is the most basic tenet of manifestation. It's all about thinking and being the person that has exactly what it is you desire in your reality, and that's what's going to be what is going to attract it to you. So that means it doesn't matter whether your bank account just has £200 saved up. That is not what matters. Okay, instead what matters is that you occupy a state where you feel like you already have, I don't know, 3,000 in your account instead, or 5,000 or 10,000, which is also important with your techniques and whatever it is you're trying to manifest. To try to manifest something that feels okay and that is believable to you, because if you're trying to manifest you becoming a millionaire when you just have 200 in your account and it doesn't really feel believable and okay for you, then it's best for you to actually go with something that will feel a lot more achievable and likely for you to happen in the near future, because you're not going to be resisting it as much. Okay, it's going to be easier for you to believe that yes, I am this, yes, I do have this. So it'll be easier for you if you have a lot of resistance towards something to start thinking small first and then building baby steps that will get you one thing and another little manifestation. And that's when you're going to start thinking, I got this. Okay, I got this. So I'm going to start manifesting the bigger things that are going to basically change my reality to what I want it to be. So yes, it's not about your technique, it's about what you're doing that's helping you specifically, because something might work for someone, something else might not really work for them, and it might not work for you, or it might work for you and whatnot, right? So it's not about that, it's about occupying the state. And the other element I'm going to add, but it's about occupying that state consistently. Okay, so again, I'm going to say what this doesn't mean, okay, because that really helps actually illuminate what it does mean. So occupying that state consistently, being the person and thinking like the person that already has it consistently, doesn't mean being perfect with it. It doesn't mean that you don't allow yourself to think at any point that you don't have the thing that you want, okay? That doesn't mean that at all. It just means that that's going to be the state that you will be occupying predominantly, okay? So that's the key word, predominantly, okay? And that's where the importance of pushing through triggers and persistence is. And that is the other hugely important element of manifestation, which is persistence. Okay, so say you've just decided you're going to be this new person, or you're going to be thinking these new thoughts, okay? And you have your techniques nailed down, and you know that this is helping me feel that I am this. Especially when you start out, you're going to start experiencing your reality very negatively, because you're going to recognize that it's not actually what you wanted to be, okay? Because like I mentioned in a different video that a YouTuber said before, which made it make so much sense, is that when you've chosen to have the X self-concept, okay, and basically that's how you end up occupying that state, is by considering what do I actually want to be right now? How do I want to perceive myself right now? And it helps to use that in different areas of your life, because every area is different. You have different beliefs around money, different beliefs around love, and vice versa. But there are some more general ones where you think to yourself either that you can have generally what you want, and either that you can't have what you want. So I think it's also very beneficial to work with those kinds of thoughts and that kind of more general self-concept that you have of yourself and your capacity to manifest and make anything happen. Okay, so when you realize that you have this new X concept, but your circumstance hasn't changed because you just said you're going to be the person, so of course your reality hasn't really shifted. You're starting to think through the mindset of somebody else, of say your future self, and you're still dealing with why circumstances. Okay, so you have the X self-concept and the Y old circumstances. So there's going to be a lot of incongruence there, and that you're going to experience that. You're going to experience that very negatively, and that's why a lot of people might say that when you first get into manifestation and start manifesting something, the reality is going to get worse. It's mainly going to be that your own experience is going to feel a lot more negative because you will recognize the absence of what it is you want in your life. So, to actually occupy this consistently and push through triggers, you need to develop this very strong self-concept, and every single time you see something in your reality, and you need to be able to recognize what those triggers are and have a video about that. So I'm going to put that in the description because it's so critical. So once you recognize what your triggers are and how the new person reacts to those triggers, then you're going to have to be persisting in that, okay? Persisting for long enough until your reality will start matching your own thoughts and beliefs and all of that, okay? So you need to persist for long enough until you start seeing that there's more congruence there, until you start seeing that, yes, I am this person that gets love, and you actually do get people, I don't know, guys or girls messaging you and seeming interested in you and all that kind of stuff. You know, it's going to start making sense and it will feel okay. All right, you will accept it and you will actually believe that, yes, this is really happening. You know, you're actually going to see it in your reality. Okay, so that's why it's so important to persist and allow yourself to have bad days. A lot of people think that if you have bad days, that means your manifestation isn't coming and that you're ruined, but that is not the case at all, okay? You're still getting a manifestation so long as you're occupying that state persistently. And now I'm going to specifically talk about what really occupying the state means. Because again, like I said, it's not just your thoughts, okay? It doesn't matter whether you think to yourself that you are very attractive, that you attract love into your life and all that stuff. It doesn't matter if you think that, or it doesn't matter that I am going to, you know, enter a relationship with a specific person, which is like a very common theme in manifestation, and that's how most people get into manifestation, is because they're trying to manifest a relationship with a specific person. Okay, so it's actually you changing your dynamic with the things in your life that you actually desire, okay? So changing your dynamic would mean that you are going to show up differently, okay? So manifestation is not about what you're thinking, oh yeah, I'm all this hot shit, I'm all this stuff. It's not about that, okay? It's about whether you're actually changing your reaction, your response to things, and how you actually act. So if you want to be with a specific person, for example, and say, whenever you, I don't know, talk and all that, maybe it's you reaching out all the time, and it's never them reaching out. And so you being that person that believes that the person really likes you, and you know, it's not you desperately going after them, they desperately want to go after you. If you start thinking in that way, then how would you react differently? How would you actually be different in your real life? You would be different by actually not really texting the person relentlessly, not talking about them as much, and not really putting them on the pedestal at all, which is another idea that we're going to go deeper in a second, which is detachment. That is the other hugely important component of manifestation. So you're going to be that new person by changing your dynamic or that individual. Or let's talk about money, okay? If you're thinking that, if your initial concept is that you have a lot of money coming into your life from unexpected sources, from your business, whatever, if you think like that, and that's your new self-concept, okay, you need to be the person every day, okay? You need to be the person that believes that every day, and you need to be acting differently. You need to be different because it's your state of being that will attract something to you, because that's you telling yourself or telling the universe, if you believe in more the spiritual aspect of it all, that is, you know, it's going to give it to you because you already have it. So you need to be that person, and that's why it's not thought only, it's not your technique only, it's whether you're being that person every day. So with money, how would you be that person? Maybe you wouldn't be somebody that checks your bank account all the time to see if your new client actually deposited the money, okay? Because you will think yourself, I'm sure they're gonna deposit it, and if they don't do that right now, that's completely okay, or whatever, right? I'm going to be fine. Okay, so that's how you would act as a new, different person. That's how you're going to be the new person, okay? So that's why you need to think about how you are actually being, and not just think about what are the new thoughts that I want to think more of the time, even though both are very critical and very important, but the essence is all in the being, okay? You don't attract what you want, you attract who you are. But let's go back to thoughts for a second, okay? So what do you do if you actually do get very bad thoughts that come out for you, which prevent you from really being the person that you're trying to be? So when those thoughts come up and those bad feelings come up, and again, it doesn't mean that just because you're getting those that you're going to manifest those, okay? You might be manifesting those in that moment where you're in, and that might be your reality, the reality you're seeing, but it doesn't mean that that's what's going to be happening in your life in general, because as you change your thoughts again, your energy, and you're being different, things are going to change, okay? So whenever those new thoughts and feelings come up, you don't say to yourself, say for example, you want a relationship and you start dating people and things don't work out for you, okay? And you start thinking, oh my God, I can never have a good relationship in my life. I can never have a relationship. I'm doomed. Okay, so you might start thinking in that way. So what do? You should allow those thoughts to come through, but you shouldn't place too much power onto those thoughts. So you need to recognize, I'm in power here. I am the person manifesting things and changing things. Okay. Of course, this isn't like perfect. Like, it doesn't mean you're going to get everything you want the exact way you want when you want it, which is actually horrible anyway. You don't want to live a life where you feel dependent on things in that way. And we're going to touch that again in a second when we start talking about detachment. So you're going to decide that I am not going to place my power onto this thought. Okay, I'm having this thought, it's okay. Or I'm experiencing this reality right now, it's completely okay, but I'm choosing this different thought. I'm choosing this different future for myself. And so you insist in that, again, persistence, right? So freaking critical. You insist in that, and you give the power to the thoughts that you actually want to be thinking predominantly, again, to occupy that state predominantly, okay? So don't worry about those thoughts coming up, just don't entertain them, okay? Say, okay, that's happening, I'm thinking this. So it does take you getting to really listen to your thoughts, which if you're not used to, it's a bit difficult, but I've been doing it for years, so maybe it's not really that difficult for me to do. But if it's you doing it for the first time, it might take some training and getting used to, but you will be noticing those thoughts, and you will know which ones you want to entertain and which ones you don't, okay? It's like when somebody might be angry at you and you'll be thinking, I'm not going to engage with this person because they're not being respecting right now. And so you might just leave the room altogether and not engage with them at all. You're not giving them the power to change your own internal state of calmness that you might be in, that you want to continue occupying, okay? And now let's talk about not really being dependent on things and detachment, the other very critical components of manifestation that a lot of people get wrong, or they don't really talk about. And most manifestation teachers don't talk about this. And so they tell you, you're a bad bitch, you're getting everything you want. I don't resonate with that at all. It makes me cringe to my core, and I'm never gonna be that kind of person. This is just not it, okay? So what you need to be doing in order to really make any manifestation come true is to learn to feel content with everything that you have, with everything being the way that they are, okay? That's how you're going to start attracting more good things into your life. Because when you feel content, okay, when you feel content, that means you don't need other things outside of yourself to feel okay, okay? So it means that you don't need the constant confirmation that your manifestation is actually coming true, okay? And you feel content and good with what is, and you don't feel like you're going to not be okay, or that life is not going to be okay if you don't have the thing that you desire. And this can feel so powerful, so powerful, because you're not placing that power on the circumstances and what's happening, and you're not placing so much power and importance onto the person that you're trying to get, because you realize you don't need that. Everything is good within yourself. Of course, you need things external outside of yourself, but like, you don't really need any one specific person, any one specific relationship, any one specific job. You don't really need that. You're going to feel good and content, because if you're not content with your reality, then it's like telling yourself you don't have it. So that prevents you from occupying the state, okay? For being in that end state and being that person that already has all that you want. And that leads me to a final point about letting go and about detachment, basically, okay? And I recently watched a video about this, and it really made it click so much. That's by Manifest with Genevieve. I think that's her channel. Best channel manifestation ever for me, from what I've seen. So do go check that out. Okay, so she talks about the fact that you detaching from something is going to be the natural byproduct of you actually occupying the state, okay? Or you feel like you don't really need that thing because you already have it, so you don't need to see it in your external world, For example, say again, you want a relationship, and every single day you show up for yourself in a way that makes you feel like, I am loved like how I would be loved if I had the relationship. So you don't feel like you need it, and it's just something you want because you know it would really amplify your experience and would just make your life even better than it already is, and you will be focusing on making it better in your own way, but mainly in your mind, because no matter how amazing your external life is, you can still feel discontent and unhappy, and we all know this and understand this very well. Okay, so it's going to be the natural byproduct of that, and it makes perfect sense. Just think about it. Think about all the things that you already have, okay? The things that you already have, you don't feel like you need to do anything to make them happen. If I feel that I have a specific friend that really likes me, like, I don't worry that they're not ever gonna like me, that maybe you've been friends with them for a very long time, so you don't ever have to stress about that. What happens is you go about your day every single day feeling secure in that thing that you want, okay? So you go about your day and think to yourself, yeah, of course they're my friend, of course they care about me, of course we are, really enjoying our time together whenever we see each other, of course we're so close to each other. So you think all that, and so you never feel desperate, right? You never feel attached to that person, okay? You feel secure in that. So by you learning to give yourself what you need, and that will be through imagination, okay? That will be through actions you take every day, okay? Like I said, in the relationship context, really getting that love, or for example, in the case of work, you congratulating yourself for doing a good job at something and not waiting for your boss to tell you you're doing a good job and, oh, you're going to get a promotion, and say that that's your goal, to get a promotion and to improve at your job. You will always be validating yourself for the kind of work that you do, so you won't really need it. You will still want it, but you won't really feel the need for it. And so you'll stop attaching so much value and importance onto that thing naturally. So that makes sense, because whenever I've tried to let go of something and detach from it by just thinking, it's not that important, I'm placing so much importance on it, it feels so forced, okay? It doesn't feel right, but instead it's the natural byproduct of you occupying your state and feeling like you already have it. Because if you practice that enough, you practice being in that place enough, you are not going to want the external validation from that thing, and it's going to be easy for you to detach because you already have it. Why would I be so attached to a person that I already have, So that is how you detach from the thing, and by doing that and detaching, you are going to make it 10 times more easy for yourself to get exactly what you want. Okay, so here's a summary. Manifestation is about you making what you want happen, and you're doing it consciously right now, not unconsciously. So you select the thoughts that come to your mind, It doesn't mean no other thoughts come through, okay? But you just choose which thoughts you're going to place importance on and which thoughts you're not, okay? And it's about being the person that already has that desire. So it's not about you just thinking the thoughts. If nothing has changed in your reality, if you haven't changed your actual behavior, then it's up to you to change that as well and to actually be the person that has it. So give yourself what you need from other people. Give yourself whatever you need from any kind of external source whenever you don't really see that come to you in your actual external reality. Give that to yourself and be that person every day. Act like that person predominantly. So if you have other thoughts, or if sometimes you overreact because something isn't going the way that you want, you're not going to place your power on that. You're going to say, this is what I choose for myself. I am choosing this thing or this person or this situation to play out in this way, okay? And anything else that contradicts in your reality, you're like, that's fine, you know, I don't need things to happen in a very specific way. I don't need to get what I want like this right now. I don't need any of that, okay? So the other component is feeling completely content with everything that you have wherever you are in a specific moment, which again, you won't be doing perfectly. Sometimes you feel like, oh my God, I really need money. Look at me, I'm really struggling. I can't really eat food that, I don't eat food outside, you know, go to restaurants and things, and I can't really afford that, okay? So sometimes you're gonna think like that, okay? And you're going to act like the person that doesn't have what you want. And that is completely fine. So it's about what you predominantly choose. And that's why it's very important to learn how to react to triggers that play in your life consciously, okay? So learn to react to this differently and persisting through the thing you actually want happen, that's how you're going to make it more likely to come true, okay? And as you're in a state, detaching from the thing that you want is going to help you again, make it more likely that you get it, okay? So these are the basics, but I'm also going to add some bonuses here. One bonus is that whenever you try to manifest something through visualization, or even in your head without actually using visualization at all, is to add detail to whatever it is you want. So if you want a relationship, you will think, okay, so what would I get from that relationship? And think in specific details. What are some things about you, for example, that, you know, certain things that you do or certain things that you think that are very unique to you, and think about those and then say, okay, how would my partner love me for those things, for those little things that I do? Say I'm a bit clumsy, you know, something very silly, okay? I'm clumsy and my partner, say, would love me every time I would, I don't know, drop a cup or something, you know, like they would find it cute, they would find it silly and funny and cute, and you're going to be giving it to yourself every day, like finding what you do cute, okay? And you're gonna feel much better about it, and it's gonna feel more realistic for you to get the thing that you want, because you're going to feel like you already have it because you added all these little tiny details, okay? So it'll make things more believable for you and more likely for them to really happen. So that is a little bonus that I wanted to add, because I think it's so very important and it makes this whole manifestation thing so much more fun. And the other bonus I'm going to add is that you can also start thinking about all the things that you want and start recognizing why they're not all that, okay? That's also going to help with detachment, of course. So, for example, you might write out a list of why you getting that specific thing to happen for you is not really going to really change your internal experience, okay? It's not going to change your entire world, really, because first of all, you can imagine yourself through the eyes of a person that is already in that spot that you want to be, and recognizing that you're probably going to be feeling the exact way that you are right now. So it's not really all that. It's not going to change your world. You're only going to be the one changing your world for yourself. So that's another little thing to help you detach from people and things that you might want to make happen. So these are the little bonus that came through my mind right now, at least. I'm sure there will be more, but these are the basics that I've learned, and I've watched a ton of videos for them to start making sense. and I hope they're going to help somebody so they don't feel like they need to do anything perfectly to manifest, so they don't feel like they need to occupy the state 24/7, so they don't feel like they can't allow themselves to have bad thoughts and to actually place themselves in the place of power that they are in. Living life from a disempowered place doesn't feel good, okay? And it's more likely won't give you anything that you want. So that doesn't mean you're gonna, use your wand and make things just happen the way you want, but who knows, you might also surprise yourself and some things might happen like really quickly, and it's just fun, okay? Just have fun, most importantly. Don't place so much importance on what you're doing, on the outcome of it. Just have fun, and nothing matters, okay? Unless you place importance on that thing. So just enjoy life, enjoy the process, and learn. And like with anything, allow yourself to fail at it, okay? So that's it. Time to go to the gym. So see you and have a good day.